fall off the side?
Very, very few. The last car that we've had that went off that wasn't doing the hill climb race was in 2015, and it was someone that drove off intentionally. They chose to take their own life up here.
Oh my God.
That's a lot of
How many of them they use benzene? How many of them?
That'd be a rough way to go. It's because you might not.
Motorcycles for the next couple of years. They're going to reevaluate and try to decide if they want to allow the motorcycles to continue.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they've been doing that hill climb race for 97 years, and it was always just cars until 2011 when the road was fully paved. We've only ever had 7 fatalities, but 3 of those 7 have been motorcycles in the last 8 years.
Oh.
So that's why they're kind of stopping that division right now. Well, those guys are a different breed. I mean, they start down at mile 7 and go all the way to the top, so it's about 12 and a half miles. And the record on it was set last year. He did it in 7 minutes and 57 seconds. He was averaging 90 miles an hour the whole way up.
Up?
Up. Yeah, going up. Yeah, so they just raced to the top. Yeah, so they'll take like those switchback turns at like 40, 50 miles an hour. And then some of these straighter sections up here, they'll get up to close to 150 miles an hour.
Seems like your car is complaining.
A little bit.
Making all kind of noises.
He's working pretty hard here. Bit of low gear just going down so we don't get going too fast. Don't burn out the brake pads. It's good to get you guys down now, though, because that storm is moving in for sure. It's no fun being caught up here in a thunderstorm.
Storm is coming in, huh?
Yeah. I've had one close call. I've had lightning strike about 30 feet away from my van this summer.
So ever get caught snowing?
Not so much snow in the middle of the summer, but when they do get rain, it has a tendency to turn into like sleet and hail.
That's
So
bad.
we've had some bad storms up here where it's basically blizzard-like conditions. It's icy.
Feel it, it's low altitude.
Yeah, it gets a little easier to breathe as we go down.
Now it's much easier.
Yeah, up at the top there, at that elevation, we have about 40% of the oxygen you would have at sea level.
So how high is it, this one now?
So the summit is at 14,115 feet. Here we're at roughly just over 13,000 feet.
Oh, this 1,000 make a difference.
Yeah.
Huh?
Like the most popular?
Yeah.
Why is that?
So it's due to the fact that we have a road that comes all the way up here, like an actual paved road. So yeah, in Colorado we have 54 mountains that are over 14,000 feet. We're at number 32. But yeah, I mean, so there's only one other mountain that you can drive up that's higher than this one. It's Mount Evans. But Mount Evans, it's a lot sketchier of a drive. I mean, the road's a lot narrower. It goes down to one lane in a lot of spots. It's not paved, and there's even less guardrails up there.
Oh, it's
So
more
this
dangerous.
called
It is, yeah.
Mount Pike? This one is
No, Mount
Mount
this
Evans.
one, this one.
This is Pikes Peak.
Pikes Peak.
Pike.
Yep.
Okay. Mount Evans. That's the one we're gonna visit next.
Yeah, so that's the other one that you can drive up, and then the highest mountain in Colorado is Mount Elber. And that one, so here we're at 14,115. Mount Elber is the highest in the whole Rocky Mountains, and that one's at 14,000, I think like 438.
they have satellite you guide that can drive us up to the peak.
They don't. No, on Mount Evans, it's just you go on your
There's a
own.
lot of visitors
my
there.
God.
You may want to double check if you guys are planning on that one here soon. Last I heard, the road is not open all the way to the top.
Oh, okay.
So if
we
you guys
can
are
reach the
planning on
peak.
going up there, definitely double check that.
But still worth a visit, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can get up most of the way, but from what I heard, the last like 5 miles or so, you can't drive up, and if you want to go to the top, you've got to hike.
Oh no. I don't think we can make it.
Yeah. And no one's here at 16, right?
No.
Okay. Happens all the time, so.
16. It's kind of windy up here.
It is, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's no trees or anything to block it up here, so when the wind starts blowing, it gets cold.
Yeah, it's like 40 degree up there, right? With
Yep,
the wind
that's what
like
it says. Yeah, it says it's 46
30,
right
huh?
here.
With the wind chill factor probably 20, 30.
Yeah.
Look at that curve. I can breathe much easier now.
But you have a difficulty.
Yeah,
Up
was
there?
when I was up there. But once we come down to 13,000, it's much better.
Let it space out a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, this thing, especially when we're full, it's a bigger van. It has a tendency to want to roll pretty quick, so.
Yep.
Wow, this is a scary turn.
Boy, that's a cool way to look at it. All the way down. Road.
Right off the cliff. That's hitting 10
Kind of filtration stuff.
Yeah. So
Collection.
the Crystal Reservoir down there, the one that's empty, they drained that one to make repairs on the dam this year.
Oh.
But yeah, the big ones to the left, the Catamount reservoirs, and then the Rampart Reservoir up across on the ridge there. Those three are the primary water sources for Colorado Springs.
So they actually fit into the river?
Yeah, so they've got the reservoirs there, and then yeah, they have the system that brings it down into town there.
Now we start seeing trees.
Yeah, we're almost back to the tree line here.
Any of the trees, they don't grow. Is it because of oxygen? No?
Yeah. So the air gets too thin up here, which leads to some differences in the soil, and it's that combination of factors that prevents the trees from growing up here.
So the oxygen affected too, huh?
Yep.
And I guess it hardly rain up this high, right?
It does rain up here quite a bit, actually. Yeah.
Just hard to retain the water, right?
Yeah. So I mean, they do a pretty good job. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't soak into the ground too much since it's all just mostly bedrock up here. And then, yeah, I mean, they do a good job of keeping it flowing that way. It doesn't like flood the roads or anything like that.
So it's much colder in the winter up here?
It is, yeah. Yeah, I mean, in the wintertime up here, it's often down in single digits and below zero for the most part.
So we're covered by snow, you know.
Yeah,
all
we
winter.
get an average of about 10 to 15 feet of snow up here winter.
Okay.
So as we come back into the trees here, this is about 12,000 feet elevation.
Okay. So the park is still open during the winter?
Yeah, the park is open year round, and then access to the top is all just weather dependent.
Okay. If it's not blocked by the snow, it'll be open, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, they try to keep it clear as much as they can, but it just depends on the kind of winter we're having.
Must be a different scenery up here during the winter.
It is, yeah.
So we're kind of below the tree lines now.
You said it wasn't always paved then for just recently?
Right, yeah.
10 years, give or take?
Yeah, they started the paving in 1998, and then it took them until 2011 to get it paved all the way to the top.
Wow.
So here was a dirt road in the old day.
It was a dirt road for about 80 years or so, yeah.
I saw some, picture there. It was from 1825. So I guess they have that building up there since then, right?
So the visitor center at the top there has been there since about the 1950s.
1950.